Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give it a minute. Let people join in. We'll get our game started here shortly. All right. Let's see here. Where is it? Okay. Put the comments on. All right. I have the link to the PDF for the score sheet in the comments if you want to download that. Gotta give it a few seconds here. Wait for some everybody who wants to join in. It's usually a late arriving crowd. Everybody's heard my rules spiel 100 times, so they know they don't need to jump in right at 7 o'clock. I'm just as sick of saying them as you are hearing them, but we got to do it every night just in case there's some new people joining the game. So I will do that right now. I'm going to go through our rules. I'm going to go into full screen mode on my PowerPoint. So if you're commenting on either Periscope or YouTube, I will not be able to see your comments until I get out of full screen mode. I can see your comments on Facebook because I've got the Facebook feed going on my iPad right next to me, so I'll be able to check out your comments on Facebook. Most people play on Facebook, so it's not that bad of an issue. All right, bear with me for 1 second while I get this going. No, I want this. Yes. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. Here are our rules for tonight's Play at Home Trivia Night. We're going to play 5 rounds of pub-style trivia. First round is going to be a picture round, followed by 3 specific categories, and then we will end the night with a round of general trivia. Each round is made up of 5 questions worth 1 point each and a bonus question worth 2 points. So we have 30 questions in all that's going to be asked of you tonight. Top score, maximum amount of points you can score is 42. So more on that in a moment. Game takes about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes to play, depending on how fast we get through the categories. Here's how the game breaks down. I'm going to read you the questions, and you are going to write down your answers at home on your score sheets. Please do not put any answers in the comments. That's one of our biggest rules. No answers in the comments section, just on your score sheets at home. I have the official Play at Home Nights score sheet available for you. You can either get that, and I put it in the comments section, the link to the PDF, or it's also pinned to the top of the Trivia Nights with Greg Facebook page. So if you don't have that already, you can go get that at either of those 2 spots. But you don't need the official score sheet to play along. You can use any piece of scratch paper you've got lying around the house. Just make sure you got enough room for 30 answers, and you group your answers together by round. So I'm going to read you the questions. They're all going to appear up on the screen with a picture clue for all the questions. You're going to write them down on your score sheet, not in the comment section. After I repeat the questions, so I'll do them the first time and then right away go into a full repeat and repeat all 6 questions for you quickly. I will then give you a moment to finalize your answers before revealing the answers to you. And you guys are going to score your own score sheets at home. So we were playing on the honor system. Please, no cheating, no Googling, no changing answers, no filling in blanks. We're here for some fun during our little crazy, can't go out and be in public times we've had for way too freaking long already this year. But we're here to exercise our brains, be a little social, have a little fun. So please, no cheating. We're not playing for any kind of cash or prizes tonight, just some bragging rights. So there's no need to cheat. At the end of the final round, you're going to add up the score of all 5 of your rounds and then put your final score real nice and big on your score sheets. Then you're going to take a picture of said score sheet and send it to me via Facebook Messenger. If you're playing on one of our other platforms, you can send me a Twitter DM or post your score in the comment section on YouTube. I don't think you can put a picture there, but you can just put your number down if you don't have access to Facebook or Twitter. I mentioned earlier 42 is the maximum amount of points, but you're probably thinking to yourself, well, there's 30 questions. It doesn't add up. Well, you could double your score for one of your 4 rounds, and you do that simply by circling your entire group of answers before the correct ones are revealed to you. So in that little moment that I give you between reading the questions and revealing the answers, if you think you've done really well on a particular round, you got all 6 questions, you're confident, you want to double your score for that round, circle the entire bunch of answers for that particular round before I read you the correct ones. Then you can give yourself double the amount of points for that one round. When we play this game live and in person at Firewater Saloon on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights, your team has to turn in your score sheets before I read the answers. So you have to hit the double score option before turning your score sheet in. So it's a little bit of a gamble. You don't have the luxury of having your score sheet with you when you hear the answers like you do tonight. So in the spirit of the game, please select the round you're going to double before you hear the answers. So in between the questions and the answers, that's when you go for doubling. Please don't wait till after the answers are read and go, holy crap, I got all 6 questions right. Let's double that. Or even worse, wait to the end of the night, then just pick the round you did the best on and doubling that one. That's kind of cheating and it's not fun. But so basically our main 3 infractions that are going to cause problems are cheating of any type, looking up answers, changing answers, that sort of thing. Putting your answers in the comments and doubling your score after you've heard the answers. As far as our regular group of players go, we don't have any problems with that. So that's more for the first-time players tonight. Oh, here's something for everybody. The categories. Here are tonight's categories for Wednesday, December the 16th. We're going to do NBA Rookies of the Year in the picture round. We're going to be doing a little basketball tonight. We don't do a whole lot of basketball, but I'm going to show you pictures of 5 guys who have won the NBA Rookie of the Year award. You just have to identify who the players are in the pictures. So hopefully you've got some NBA fans out there. Round number 2, 90s hip hop. This was a request a few days ago. I don't remember who requested 90s hip hop, but we're going to do some 90s hip hop questions tonight. A Christmas Story is round 3. Getting ready. We're doing all Christmas trivia 1 week from tonight, but we're going to do a round on everybody's favorite Christmas movie. At least it should be. A Christmas Story is round 3. Round 4 is a round on Batman. Just some random Batman questions. We'll cover. It's not on any of the specific movie franchises. It's got a little bit of everything in there. So some random Batman questions are going to be round number 4. And then we'll end the night with our general trivia round. That's just some random trivia questions. Just a pro tip. The middle 3 rounds, our specific categories, all have multiple choice and true-false questions within the round. So there's a little help there. If you're not a big hip-hop fan or you've never seen a Batman movie, at least you'll have a couple of questions where you can make an educated guess or flip a coin. There are no multiple choice or either or questions in the general trivia round. That is just straight up questions and answers. You either know them or you don't. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about which round you want to double tonight. And as always, scrolling at the bottom, that's where you find my PayPal and Venmo information. If you're thinking about sending a tip, that's where you would send it, to either PayPal or Venmo. There is no I cannot host trivia in front of big groups and get paid money to do it. My other job is covering the AHL Central for the HockeyWriters.com. Well, there's no hockey games going on. There hasn't been any for a while. I also can't go on scouting assignments during the weekends either. So money is becoming scarce. So tips are greatly appreciated. They are not required in order to play, but boy, I sure do like seeing them come through. And if you don't want to send a tip, that's cool too. But you can also help out by going to the HockeyWriters.com, that author page scrolling at the bottom. You can click around on there and start reading all my stuff over there. There's over 600 articles written over the past 2.5 years. I do a daily Today in Hockey History column. You can read all your hockey history tidbits every morning. It posts at 7:35 every morning. And you never know when there's going to be a trivia question. Last night's bonus question in the general trivia was from yesterday's hockey history post. So you never know. Reading that during your morning cup of coffee could pay off with some trivia points later that evening. All right, so I'm done begging and pleading for a few minutes. It's time to get the game going. We're going to get started here with our picture round NBA Rookies of the Year. I'm going to show you pictures of 5 dudes who have won the NBA Rookie of the Year. You just got to tell me who they are. Don't need to know a year. Don't care about a team. Just want to know who these players are. So hopefully you guys are some NBA fans out there. There's Rookie of the Year number 1. NBA Rookie of the Year. What is this guy's name? A young version of this player. This is NBA Rookie of the Year number 1. Here comes number 2. NBA Rookie of the Year number 2. Don't need to worry about the year these guys won because I have no idea. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I am not an NBA guy. If I was playing in this round, I would struggle. I would know that first guy. I would have no clue who this guy is. I've heard the name, but I wouldn't be able to pick him out in a lineup. When you cover hockey for a living, there really isn't a lot of time to watch basketball, even if I wanted to. It's just everything goes on at the same time. So there's not a lot of time to watch the NBA, and to be honest with you, I've kind of tuned out ever since the Bulls 90s run kind of finished there when Jordan left for good and they broke up that team. Kind of lost interest shortly after that. Number 3, here we go. I'd get this guy. This guy I'd know. This is from when I watched the NBA religiously back in the 90s. This guy was a pretty big deal coming out of college. He was a pretty good player. I don't think he lived up to the hype he had before he joined the league, but few people rarely ever do. But he was part of a pretty famous ad campaign for some shoes early on in his career. Yeah, this guy. I'd get this guy. So I'd have 2 out of 3 right now if I was playing this round, going in on with no research. This is when I watched the NBA. Number 4. There we go. Who is this guy? A little more recent. I probably wouldn't be able to get this guy. But he'd be a guy that once you said the name, I'd be like, son of a, I know that guy. I know the name. Wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup. He was recently in the Twitter feeds for being a pudwack. What is this guy's name? Of course, I'm showing you pictures from their rookie seasons. So I don't even know what team this guy's on anymore, but I know he's been around a few times. And rookie number 5, our final picture clue. Yeah, I'd get this guy too. So I'd have 3 out of 5 for sure, maybe 4. Definitely would have never known who number 2 was. This guy was more from my era too. I knew this guy college more than pros. Back in the 90s, I was a huge college basketball fan. I liked college better than the pro game. He was an exciting college player, played for one of my favorite college basketball teams back in the day. So that's why I knew who he was. I think this guy played forever. Like, I think he's just recently retired. And our bonus question. For 2 points, who is the first player born outside of the United States to win the NBA Rookie of the Year award back in 1986? I think there's been 5 or 6 players total not born in the U.S. There's been a lot more recently to win Rookie of the Year. But who is the first ever player born outside of the United States to win the NBA Rookie of the Year back in 1986? This was a guy that I only recently learned that he wasn't born in the United States. I always assumed that he was, but he was not. So if you don't know this one, it might surprise you. For 2 points, who was the first player born outside of the U.S. to win the NBA Rookie of the Year back in 1986? All right. Let's repeat these picture clues for you real quick in case you need one. There's number 1. Here's number 2, I think. There it is, number 2. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. And the bonus question one more time for 2 points. Who was the first player born outside of the United States to win the NBA Rookie of the Year in 1986? All right, I'm going to give you guys a minute or two to finalize those answers. If you did good and you're a big NBA person and you think you got all these right and you want to double your score, now is the time to circle that group of answers. If not, If you're not an NBA fan and you're staring at a blank score sheet right now, you still got 4 other chances for that double score option. We still have 90s hip hop, a Christmas Story Batman trivia coming up, as well as our general trivia round. Excuse me. All right, let's do our answers for our NBA Rookie of the Year award, shall we? I think we shall. We're going to. Ready or not, here we go. Rookie of the Year number 1, that is Tim Duncan. He went on a pretty successful career, a couple NBA titles, I want to say, and did he win an MVP? Probably. Should have. Number 2, guy I would have heard the name of, but I wouldn't be able to pick this guy out of a lineup. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is spinny basketball on a finger guy. Couldn't tell you the last time I watched a Philadelphia 76ers game. Number 3, this guy was one of the running rebels from UNLV. Larry Johnson, not the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, but Grandmama. Remember the Grandmama commercials? I think, was that Nike? It had to be Nike because wasn't Spike Lee in them? I don't remember. I can't keep these things straight, but I do remember he was Grandmama on the commercials. I might have even had a Grandmama T-shirt back in the day. Good stuff. Number 4, this is Kyrie Irving, who, I mean, I don't pay close attention, but this guy seems like a real putz, just like a crybaby. Am I wrong? I don't know. He went to Duke, so there's strike 1. But I just saw a whole big thing this week how he talked about he's not a pawn, so he's not going to talk to the media anymore. And then like 2 days later, he was talking to the media again. Get over yourself, dude. You're getting paid millions and millions of dollars to play a child's game. You can talk to the media. It's part of your job. Get over yourself. You know, I cover sports for a living, and guys that don't want to talk to the media just drive me up the wall because it's part of your job. You're getting paid handsomely to do. You can talk to us for 5 minutes. It's not going to kill you. All right, I'm off my soapbox. I don't like Kyrie Irving, even though I know nothing about him. Number 5, this is a guy I enjoy watching, especially at college at North Carolina, Vince Carter. Vince Carter, this guy had a ton of hype surrounding him, too. He was pretty darn good. I don't think he ever had the team success that they had hoped for, but he had a really long career, if I can remember correctly. And our bonus question for 2 points: who was the first player born outside of the U.S. to win the NBA Rookie of the Year in 1986? That would be a guy that we hated here in Chicago for most of the decade of the 90s, Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing was born in Jamaica. I didn't know that until recently. I always just assumed he was an American citizen, or at least born in America. I'm sure he's a citizen, but yeah, Patrick Ewing, first player born outside the U.S. in 1986, born in Jamaica. All right, let's go away from NBA, and we can go to another round that's kind of related. Kind of makes sense to have these back to back. 90s hip hop. This was a request from one of you guys in the last couple of days. So let's do some 90s hip hop. This is, I love me some good old fashioned 90s hip hop. This was probably the best era of the genre before auto tune and mumble rap, when you actually had to have a wee bit of talent to be a hip hop artist back in the day. Now you just got to have tattoos on your face and be an idiot. All right, here we go. Number 1, what Cleveland hip hop group had a big hit with First of the Month in 1998? What Cleveland-based hip hop group had a big hit with First of the Month in 1998? It's so hard not to sing that. It's hard to say it and not sing it. Number two, 90s hip hop, round 2 of 5 tonight. Question number 2, who had a big hit in 1996 with Let Me Clear My Throat? Was that Young MC, DJ Cool, or Tone Loc? Oh, that's one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time. Who had a big hit with 1996? Let Me Clear My Throat, Young MC, DJ Cool, or Tone Loc? The Buffalo Sabres of the NHL used this song as their goal song a couple of years ago for a season or two. So every time they scored a goal on home ice, they'd play this song, and it was like, yeah, go Sabres. I don't think they do that anymore, which is lame, but yeah. This is a good one. One of my favorite hip-hop songs of all time. It's one of those that comes on and you hear that first little intro and you're like, oh yeah, here we go. Number 3, true or false, Pharrell Williams wrote Teddy Riley's verse in Rex NFX's 1992 hit Rump Shaker. True or false, Pharrell Williams wrote Teddy Riley's verse in Rex NFX's 1992 hit Rump Shaker. Another 90s hip-hop classic. I wrote this round yesterday, and I spent like the next hour afterwards listening to all these songs on Spotify and fell down a hip-hop rabbit hole, and it was fun. Wasn't very productive, but it was worth it. Pharrell Williams. Did he write Teddy Riley's verse back in 1992 for Rex NFX's Rump Shaker? Who, when I said Rump Shaker the first time, who sang the chorus out loud? I bet you at least 2 of you did. All right, question number 4 for 90s hip-hop. Tupac began his career as a backup dancer for which 90s hip-hop group? Was that Digital Underground, Salt-N-Pepa, or 2 Live Crew? Tupac began his career as a backup dancer/singer for which 90s hip-hop group? Was it Digital Underground, Salt-N-Pepa, or 2 Live Crew? Tupac, you've heard of him. Who did he begin his career with? Was that Digital Underground, Salt-N-Pepa, or 2 Live Crew? Question number 5 for our 90s hip-hop category. Keep Their Heads Ringin' by Dr. Dre was featured on the soundtrack of what 1995 movie starring his old NWA buddy? Keep Their Heads Ringin' by Dr. Dre was featured on the soundtrack of what 1995 movie starring his old NWA buddy? I haven't seen this movie in a while. I'm going to have to rectify that soon. And our bonus question for 90s hip hop. Nas was signed to his first record deal by MC Serch for 2 points. What 90s hip hop group was MC Serch a part of? Don't get much more 90s than that look right there. Nas was signed to his first record deal by MC Search. For 2 points, what 90s hip-hop group was MC Search a part of? All right, let's repeat our hip-hop questions for you real quick. Question number 1, what Cleveland hip-hop group had a big hit with First of the Month in 1998? Number 2, who had a big hit in 1996 with Let Me Clear My Throat? Was that Young MC, DJ Cool, or Tone Loc? I have a not safe for work Tone Loc story I could share with you guys one day when we're not on the interwebs. If you come out to one of my in-person trivia games one night, when we can do that again, ask me about my Tone Loc story. I'll be happy to share it with you. Not going to do it on the internet, though. Could get some people in trouble. Number 3, true or false, Pharrell Williams wrote Teddy Riley's verse in Wreckx-n-Effect's 1992 hit Rump Shaker. Man, what a good song that is. Number 4, Tupac began his career as a backup dancer and singer for which 90s hip-hop group? Is it Digital Underground, Salt and Pepper, or 2 Live Crew? Number 5, Keep Their Heads Ringing by Dr. Dre was featured on the soundtrack of what 1995 movie starring his old NWA buddy? The bonus question one more time. Nas was signed to his first record deal by MC Search. For 2 points, what 90s hip-hop group was MC Search a part of? All right, I'll give you a moment to finalize those answers. And on your screen now is my email address in case you're looking to get your own customized play-at-home trivia night game, either to host in the comfort of your own home, or if you like a virtual trivia night, I can be available for your video conference get-together if it's a last-minute holiday party or if it's a work team building exercise, something like that. For $125, I'll come on and do pretty much the same format we're doing right here on your video conference call, your Zoom chat. But you get to pick the categories, and I will do a customly built game just for your group. Or you can get a customized game sent to you for your own to host yourself at home. Those will be the same format as our in-person game, where the rounds will be 11 questions each, 10 questions and a bonus question. But you'll get sent to you a custom-built PowerPoint presentation that you can then get up on your TV at the house and host your own game. You'll get a hard copy of the questions and answers along with some score sheets. So pricing varies on the play-at-home games. It all depends on how many rounds you want, and if I have to write a special round for you. If you pick off my list of pre-written rounds, those are $15 a piece. But if you want a custom round that isn't readily available and I have to research and write it for you, which I'm happy to do, those would be $25 a piece. So depending on how many rounds you want, and if there's extra research that needs to be done, or you're picking from something that's readily available, That's the pricing on your own play-at-home games for your house. And as always, please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's where you get all the hockey stuff, and you'll stay updated on the trivia doings as well. All right, let's get to our answers. 90s hip hop question number 1. What Cleveland hip hop group had a big hit with First of the Month in 1998? They had a few big hits. That picture clue was trying to help you out. Bone Thugs and Harmony. Bone Thugs and Harmony is who we're looking for number 1. Question number 2. Who had a big hit in 1996 with Let Me Clear My Throat? That was DJ Kool. DJ Kool. I had to change one of the choices. I originally had Biz Markie up there as opposed to Tone Loc, and then when I went down that rabbit hole of hip hop, because I completely forgot, but Biz Markie is on that song, so I didn't want to confuse you or cause an argument, so I took him out and put Tone Loc instead. But it's DJ Kool who had Let Me Clear My Throat. True or false? Pharrell Williams wrote Teddy Riley's verse in Wreckx-n-Effect's 1992 hit Rump Shaker. That's actually true. Our buddy Pharrell is a lot older than you think he is, and he was in the music business, the producing, writing at a very young age. He was in his early 20s, I think, when he wrote that verse. So 2 nights in a row with Pharrell Williams as a subject of a question here. Yeah, he was part of our animated movies round last night. Number 4, Tupac began his career as a backup dancer for which 90s hip-hop group? One of my favorite hip-hop groups of all time, Digital Underground. He was a part of that to start off. In fact, if you've ever seen the movie Nothing But Trouble, Dan Aykroyd and Demi Moore and Chevy Chase, the Digital Underground, it has a scene where they perform one of their songs, and you can see Tupac. He's actually part of that scene as well, wearing a New York Yankees jersey. So a little extra trivia for you there. Number 5, Keep Their Heads Ringing by Dr. Dre was featured on the soundtrack of what 1995 movie starring his old NWA buddy? Well, that would be Ice Cube, and we're talking about Friday. Man, I haven't seen that in forever. I need to watch that one of these nights. That's such a good movie. The bonus question. Nas was signed to his first record deal by MC Serch. For 2 points, what 90s hip-hop group was MC Serch a part of? He was part of Third Base. Third Base. Those guys were really good, too. Kind of an underrated hip-hop rap group, but they had some. Pop Goes the Weasel was their big hit. You probably know that one. That was making fun of Vanilla Ice. And it was actually Henry Rollins played Vanilla Ice in that video, if you remember that. All right, so that wraps up 90s hip-hop. We're going to move on to round 3. Total opposite end of the spectrum. We're going to go from 90s hip-hop with Tupac and Dr. Dre, and we're going to go to Ralphie and Randy and A Christmas Story. Talk about a transition. All right, let's do it. Christmas Story. We're only about a week away from Christmas. This movie will be on a ton over the next few days, so I know you've seen it. Let's talk about A Christmas Story, a classic holiday tale. Number 1, who got his tongue stuck to a flagpole after the infamous triple dog dare? Who got his tongue stuck to a flagpole after the infamous triple dog dare? What character got stuck, but the bell rang? Who got stuck to the flagpole? Number 2, when Ralphie is sitting on Santa's lap, his mind goes blank and he can't remember what he wants for Christmas. What does Santa suggest he bring Ralphie? Was it a football, Tinker Toys, or a bike? When Ralphie sat on Santa's lap and his mind goes blank, he can't remember what he wants for Christmas. What does Santa suggest he bring Ralphie? Is it a football, some Tinker Toys, or a bike? Number 3, true or false? Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie, was the executive producer for 2008's Iron Man. True or false? Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie, was the executive producer for 2008's Iron Man. Was Peter Billingsley the executive producer of Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie? True or false? Number 4, according to Ralphie, his hillbilly neighbors had at least 785 smelly hound dogs. What was the last name of these neighbors? Were they the Krampus, Grumpus, or Bumpus family? According to Ralphie, his hillbilly neighbors had at least 785 smelly hound dogs. What was the last name of these neighbors? Was it Krampus, Grumpus, or Bumpus? Number 5, who made Ralphie's pink bunny suit? Who made Ralphie's pink bunny suit? We need the name. We need the name. It's said a few times during that scene. And the bonus question for the Christmas story round for 2 points. Who wrote the book A Christmas Story was based on and also was the narrator for the movie? For 2 points, who wrote the book A Christmas Story was based on and also was the narrator of the movie? Christmas Story was just like a chapter or two of this person's book. I believe the title of that book is called In God We Trust, All Others Must Pay Cash. Looking for the author of the book that A Christmas Story was based on. He also was the narrator for the movie. All right, let's repeat these questions for you. This is round 3 on A Christmas Story. Question number 1, who got his tongue stuck to the flagpole in the infamous triple dog dare scene? But the bell rang. It's the cops. So good. So good. I triple dog dare you. Number 2, when Ralphie is sitting on Santa's lap, his mind goes blank and he can't remember what he wants for Christmas. So what does Santa suggest that he bring him? Is it a football, Tinker Toys, or a bike? Number 3, true or false, Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie, was the executive producer for Iron Man's 2008's Iron Man. Man, Iron Man came out in 2008. That movie's 12 years, almost 13 years old already. Good Lord. Where does the time go? And that's actually Ralphie, all grown up. My God. Sucks. Number 4, according to Ralphie, his hillbilly neighbors had at least 785 smelly hound dogs. What was the last name of these neighbors? Was it Krampus, Grumpus, or Bumpus? Number 5, who made Ralphie's pink bunny suit? Who made Ralphie's pink bunny suit? We need an actual name, not necessarily a title. You can keep the title, but we got to have the name too. And the bonus question for 2 points, who wrote the book A Christmas Story was based on and also was the narrator for the movie? All right, I'm going to give you guys a moment or two to finalize those answers you got there. Just a reminder, these are our upcoming theme nights. Usually Thursdays are our theme nights here on the Play at Home Trivia Nights. Tomorrow night, we're bringing back Jeopardy night. We're basically going to be playing a round of Jeopardy. We've got 5 categories built with questions actually used on episodes of Jeopardy. They all have monetary values attached to them, so it's going to be a wide open game. And you have to answer in the form of a question. We're playing Jeopardy tomorrow night. We did that about a month ago, and you guys enjoyed it, so we're going to do that every few weeks or so. Then a week from today, Wednesday, the 23rd, we have to bump up our theme nights to Wednesdays for the next 2 weeks because of Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve on a Thursday. Next week is all Christmas trivia on 23rd. That's always a fun, popular night. Tell your friends about it. Get a Zoom team going. Have a little Christmas party with your friends and family that you may not get to see on the actual holiday, and play some Christmas trivia with me. And then the 30th, our last Play at Home trivia night of the year. Won't be our last total, but just our last of 2020. So the whole theme will be 2020 year in review. And I'm already thinking of our January categories, and I'll probably debut those tomorrow night. Had a suggestion for one. We'll go with that. I know we've been wanting a few others, so I've got a couple ideas for our Thursday night themes coming up for the month of January. I'll include them on this slide tomorrow night. All right, let's do our Christmas story answers. Number 1, who got his tongue stuck on a flagpole after the infamous triple dog dare? That was poor Flick. Flick is who got stuck. Flick is not the kid that did adult movies later in life. That was Schwartz, the kid in between Ralphie and the pole with the goofy hat. Yeah, he did some adult movies, or at least one later on in life. Good for him. Question number 2, when Ralphie is sitting on Santa's lap and his mind goes blank, he can't remember what he wants for Christmas, and Santa says, hey, how about I give you a football? And then kicks him down the slide. Number 3, true or false, Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie, was the executive producer for 2008's Iron Man. That is true. Good for Ralphie. Making some serious money with that one. Number 4, according to Ralphie, his hillbilly neighbors had at least 785 smelly hound dogs. What was the last name of these neighbors? They were the Bumpuses. Bumpus. Sons of bitches. Good stuff. Number 5, who made Ralphie's pink bunny suit? That was his Aunt Clara. Aunt Clara. If you have just his aunt, I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. We gotta know Aunt Clara. And the bonus question for 2 points. Who wrote the book A Christmas Story was based on? And was the narrator for the movie. That was Gene Shepard. Gene Shepard. And that's actually him in the picture. He makes a brief in front of the camera cameo when Ralphie and Randy try to get in line to see Santa. He's the one that tells him, hey, kid, the line starts back there. That's him right there. So Gene Shepard is the bonus question. All right, we're going to go from A Christmas Story to Batman. Let's hope we got some Batman fans out there. Just some random Batman questions, nothing on any kind of specific. It's not all comic books or certain movies. It's all over the place. So let's do some Batman for round number 4. Here we go. Question number 1. Who played Bane in Dark Knight Rises? Who played Bane in Dark Knight Rises? Obviously, that's not him in the picture, but that's the character. At least that's what the character looks like I'm pretty sure that's a screenshot from one of the video games. Who played Bane in Dark Knight Rises? Number 2, Professor Jonathan Crane is the alter ego of which Batman villain? Is it Man-Bat, the Riddler, or Scarecrow? Professor Jonathan Crane is the alter ego of which Batman villain? Man-Bat, Riddler, or Scarecrow? Yes, there really is a villain called Man-Bat. Professor Jonathan Crane is the alter ego of which Batman villain? Man-Bat, Riddler, or Scarecrow? And I would totally, that picture clue that I've got there, if that was sold, like prints of that were sold, I would totally buy that. That's a cool little piece of artwork right there. Number 3, true or false? Bruce Wayne's parents' first names were Joseph and Marie. True or false? Bruce Wayne's parents' first name were Joseph and Marie. These poor people have gotten killed 852 times between all the movies and animated series made over the years. These 2 poor schmucks just get killed in that alleyway over and over and over again. We know. Number 4, who played Batman in 1997's Batman and Robin? Was that George Clooney, Val Kilmer, or Michael Keaton? Who played Batman in Robin, released in 1997? Who was Batman at that point? Was that George Clooney, Val Kilmer, or Michael Keaton? Number 5. Who was or is cast to play Batman in The Batman, scheduled to be released in 2022? Who's scheduled to play Batman in the new Batman movie? Another reboot, because we don't have enough Batman movies. It's scheduled to be released in 2022. Who is going to play Bruce Wayne / Batman? And I'm sure we're going to see Bruce Wayne's parents get killed again. Leave those poor people alone. We get it. We know how Batman originated. We don't need another version of it. Just get to the parts where he beats people up. And our bonus question for the Batman round for 2 points. In what Batman movie does Robin say, "Holy rusted metal, Batman"? In what Batman movie does Robin say, "Holy rusted Batman"? Holy rusted metal, Batman. And that picture depicts some of the different versions of Robin over the years. He's come a long way from his little underoos he wore in the 60s. For 2 points, in which one of the Batman movies does Robin say the line, "Holy rusted metal, Batman"? Let's repeat these questions for you real quick. Number 1, who plays Bane in Dark Knight Rises? Who plays Bane in Dark Knight Rises? Number 2, Professor Jonathan Crane is the alter ego of which Batman villain? Is that Man-Bat, Riddler, or Scarecrow? Number 3, true or false, Bruce Wayne's parents' first names were Joseph and Marie. Joseph and Marie. Number 4, who played Batman in 1997's Batman and Robin? Was that George Clooney, Val Kilmer, or Michael Keaton? Number 5, who's cast to play Batman in The Batman, scheduled to be released in a year or so? 2022 is what it's telling me on the interwebs. And the bonus question for 2 points, in what Batman movie does Robin say, "Holy rusted metal, Batman"? Alrighty, give you guys a moment to finalize those answers. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central. It's our Jeopardy night. I got to finish the slideshow when we get off of here, but it's all ready to go as far as the questions and the categories. I'll have the categories posted on the Facebook page and on Twitter early in the morning. And then we'll be back Sunday, 4 nights a week, as long as there's no holidays. Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday nights. It's Play at Home Trivia Nights, presented by Trivia Nights with Greg, streaming Facebook Live, YouTube, and Periscope. 3 different platforms you can play along on. But you already knew that. Here we go. Batman. Here's our answers. Let's do it so we can get on to our final round of the night. Who played Bane in Dark Knight Rises? That would be Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy loves these superhero comic book movies, doesn't he? Number 2, Professor Jonathan Crane is the alter ego of which Batman villain? That would be Scarecrow. Scarecrow, of course, he was in that first Christian Bale Batman. Batman Begins. True or false, Bruce Wayne's parents' first names were Joseph and Marie. That is false. Thomas and Martha are their names, if I remember correctly. Yes, Thomas and Martha Wayne. Doesn't matter. They've been killed more times than anybody in the history of movies. Number 4, who played Batman in the 1997 Batman and Robin movie? That would be George Clooney. That was his turn to be the Dark Knight. It sucked too. Number 5, I read something that George Clooney has a poster of himself as Batman in his office to remind himself to never just do something for the cash again. That's a pretty bold statement right there, if that's true. That is rumor and innuendo, but that's supposedly what he's got going on. A reminder to just not do anything for the cash, but he's making coffee maker commercials nowadays, so stick to your guns, pal. Number 5, who was cast to play Batman in the newest movie that's going to be out in 2022? The Twilight guy, Robert Pattinson, is going to be Bruce Wayne and Batman. So we're going to have a little emo Batman coming out. That's probably going to suck. I don't know. I don't know how many reboots we need. I love the Batman story, and I think a lot of it is original, the villains, but it's just, I don't know. We don't need 18 different versions of the same movie. That's my opinion. All right, bonus question for 2 points. In what Batman movie does Robin say "Holy rusted metal Batman"? That is Batman Forever. Batman Forever. You remember that one? Probably not. Is that the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze, or was that Batman and Robin? I can't keep those straight because the first Tim Burton movie with Batman movie was really good with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. Batman Returns was decent with the Penguin and Catwoman. It was okay. And then after that, you lost me. But anywho, let's move on to our final round. It's time for general trivia. Let's wrap this Wednesday night production up, shall we? I'm going to ask you some random questions. You're hopefully going to come up with these specific answers right now. And at the end of this round, after I reveal the answers, that's when you're going to take a picture of your score sheets and send that to me over on Facebook Messenger. And then we'll figure out who our big winner is tonight. So let's get right to it. Question number 1, what kind of creature inhabits the Disneyland ride at the Matterhorn? What type of creature inhabits the Disneyland ride, the Matterhorn? Would I say that about Bond? What about Bond? To be honest with you, I've not seen a ton of the James Bond movies. I'd like to, but it's just a franchise I've never stuck with. My dad used to watch the old ones a lot, but I don't think I've seen any of the newer ones. Number 2, what company has a trademark on the word Mies? What company has a trademark on the word Mies? Question 3, what color t-shirt does Gene usually wear on Bob's Burgers? Question 3, what color t-shirt does Gene usually wear on Bob's Burgers? My spirit animal, Gene Belcher. One of the best characters on television today, Gene Belcher. I think my favorite characters on current TV shows are Gene Belcher, Pam from Archer. I love that character. Squirrely Dan from Letterkenny. Good stuff. But I am a big fan of Gene Belcher. Number 4. Who wrote the book Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children? Am I saying that right? Or is it Peregrine? Peregrine? Whatever. She's got a home. It's full of peculiar children. Who wrote the book? Yes, those definitely are some peculiar kids in that picture. That's a little creepy. But who wrote that book about the home for peculiar children? Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Weirdos. Grew up with a few people that probably should have been sent to this home. Yeah, see, 2 questions in one night about authors of books. You got any bookworms out there? Number 5, what band released the album Significant Other in 1999? What band released the album Significant Other in 1999? Excuse me. And our bonus question for the final round, our final question of the night. Here it is for 2 points. Which fast food restaurant chain was founded by brothers Forrest and Leroy Raffel? Or Raffel? I think it's Raffel. Could be Raffel. I don't know. For 2 points, which fast food restaurant chain was founded by brothers Forrest and Leroy Raffel? We're going to go with Raffel. That sounds fancier. That sounds fancier, even though there's nothing fancy about the food you can buy from a restaurant founded by them. All right, let's repeat our general trivia questions real quick. What kind of creature inhabits the Disneyland ride, the Matterhorn? Any of our Disney freaks been out to Disneyland, been on this ride? Number 2, what company has a trademark on the word Mies? What company has a trademark on the word Mies? Number 3, what color t-shirt does Gene usually wear on Bob's Burgers? What color t-shirt does Gene usually wear on Bob's Burgers? Number 4, who wrote the book Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children? Yeah, that picture clue is creeping me out. I'm moving on. Number 5, what band released the album Significant Other in 1999? What band released the album Significant Other in the year 1999? That picture clue does not creep me out. It makes me hungry. So does this one. For 2 points on the bonus question, which fast food restaurant chain was founded by Forrest and Leroy Raffel? Oh. Excuse me. All right. I'm going to give you a minute to finalize those answers for you. And then you're going to add up your scores here. Once I reveal these answers, you're going to send me your final score sheet with your big score written on it so I can see it. I think everybody who's playing is playing through Facebook, so send that via Facebook Messenger, either the Trivia Nights with Greg page or my personal Facebook page. That doesn't really matter. It goes to the same iPad. If you are sticking it out on Periscope, you can send your picture of your score sheet via DM on Twitter. And if you're playing on YouTube and you don't have access to Twitter or Facebook, you can just post your score in the comments section. I'll be able to see that once I get out of full screen mode here. All right, let's do our answers. Let's get on with our Wednesday evenings. Here we go. Question 1. What kind of creature inhabits the Disneyland ride, the Matterhorn? It is a Yeti. A Yeti. Or if you put Abominable Snowman, that's cool too. Yeti is what we're looking for there. Number 2, what company has the trademark on the word Mii's? That would be Nintendo. Nintendo Mii's are your little personal characters you can create in the Nintendo world. Mii's. Play on the word Mii. Number 3, what color t-shirt does Gene usually wear on Bob's Burgers? It's usually yellow. A yellow t-shirt for my guy Gene. Number 4, who wrote the book Mrs. Pellegrin's Home? Pellegrine, I don't know, Peregrine, not Pella, Peregrine's Home, whatever her name is. She had a home for peculiar children, and it was written by Ransom Riggs. Ransom Riggs. I'm assuming that's a pen name because that's you don't see that name very often. Number 5, what band released the album Significant Other in 1999? Tried to help you with the picture clue. Limp Bizkit. Remember those turds? Yeah, Limp Bizkit's album Significant Other, 1999. Oof, the 90s. As good as some of that 90s hip-hop was, the end of the decade, some of that rap metal was just awful. Bonus question for 2 points. Which fast food restaurant chain was founded by brothers Forrest and Leroy Raffel? Arby's. They're the one that gave us Arby's. And it wasn't that long ago, maybe like within the last 2 or 3 years, that I realized that Arby's stood for RB as in roast beef, because they sell roast beef sandwiches. I didn't get that for the longest time. I thought Forrest and Leroy's last name was Arby. All right, that is our questions and answers for the evening. It's time to switch back to full screen mode here. All right, there I am. Let's see here. Peregrine. Okay, whatever. Thank you. I didn't see that comment until after the question, but yes. All right, let's start getting these scores in here. Actors, same character in the franchise. That could be a fun category. We've got a lot that we could choose from.
Play from Greg's laptop.
All right, let's figure out who our big, turn this down. Let's see what our scores look like for this evening. Let's see here. Just Jen, I have your score. Thank you. Hello, Cheddar. All right, we have STD. I have your score. Doesn't look like we have many basketball fans in the house so far. I know one team that did good on the basketball round, but other than that, let's see what we got going on here. Titanic Swim Team, I have your score. Thank you for checking in. Nicely done. And then we got Team Rios. Joey and Anna. Yeah, I wasn't worried about you guys in the with the NBA or the hip hop questions tonight. Carrie and the Goonies, I've got your score. Okay, Carson, I got your message. Yeah, a night like tonight, that might be good enough to make the big board. You never know. Low scoring rounds tonight, but I kind of figured that. You know, if you don't know NBA or you're not a hip hop fan or you don't know anything about Batman, it's kind of a tough night. But let's see here. Just double check one other place. Make sure I don't have any Twitter DMs. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. over in the world of Periscope. Nope, nobody over there. All right. So, let's put together our top 5 real quick tonight. It's 6 teams tonight, so almost everybody's going to make the big board. So, that's a positive. Okay, who's in 4th? You guys. And then 3rd place will go to you. Second place is here. Yeah. All right, Titanic Swim Team. You guys are right there. And then we got 1st place. 1 second here. Oops. All I have to do is change that, and we're good to go. All right. Here is our top 5 scores for this evening. 5th place, Just Jen, 19 points. That's not too bad on your own. You can tell Justin you made the top 5 without him. Don't tell him there were only 6 teams tonight, but he doesn't need to know that. Tell him there were 13 teams and you placed in 5th place. So he's got to pick up the slack when he returns. 4th place, 23 points, Team STD. You guys struggled a little bit, but you're still in the top 5. That's all that matters. 3rd place, 31 points. The Goonies, nicely done. Top 3 finish. 2nd place with 33, we have the Titanic Swim Team, 33 points. And back-to-back wins for Team Rios, 38 points tonight. You guys won with 40 last night. 38 is good enough to win tonight. You guys dominate our midweek games. We've got a whole bunch of midweek game wins in a row. But let's see about our Jeopardy night tomorrow night. That could be a little tougher, possibly. I know we got a couple people that are looking forward to joining in just for the Jeopardy game. So let's see what kind of competition you guys get tomorrow night. So yeah, tomorrow, Thursday night, 7 o'clock Central, we'll be doing all Jeopardy questions here. Another Jeopardy night. So hopefully we'll see you guys, plus a whole lot more showing up here tomorrow night. Until then, please take good care of yourselves and one another. Be smart, be responsible, be patient and be kind, and wear your masks if you have to leave the house. And we'll catch you back here for another night of Play at Home Trivia, Jeopardy style, tomorrow. Take care, everybody.